Now, he's talking about these claim sharks reaching out to him, trying to get his business. Now, here's the thing. Sadly, veterans out there, Vietnam era veterans, so think about the age range of veteran here, are being reached out to by organizations that are going to charge them 6 times the amount of their increase. So let's pretend for 1 second you have some horrible cancer that's Agent Orange related. It's a presumptive condition. All you need to do as a veteran is show the VA that you served in Vietnam or a designated Agent Orange area during a specified time period. I served there, and I have that horrible cancer. If it's active, the VA is going to give you 100%. So let's say that you're married, right? So it's nearly $4,000 per month tax-free. Let's say this is your first claim. Now I'm setting this up because I want your guys' reaction here. So brand new veteran, I didn't do anything with the VA, whatever. I came back from Vietnam and I just wanted nothing to do with the military or the VA. That's a normal story, right? You get away from it all. Now you're up against the fence with this cancer, and you're not sure what to do. You get contacted by one of these for-profit organizations, and they file your presumptive condition. All I need is these couple pieces of information. They file it for you. Bam, you're 100%, $4,000 a month. Most of them will take up to about 6 months of your increase. Well, if you were zero before, nothing, and now you're 100%, $4,000 a month, well, 4 times 6, right? So $24,000 to file that claim for, or to educate, quote unquote, the veteran on that claim. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Chris, let's lead off with you. I really want to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many resources out there to help you that are free and are accredited. One of the questions I have to both of you, as well as to anybody listening to the podcast, is what would stimulate the need to actually leverage one of these organizations? And maybe it's just, hey, I didn't know about it. They called me. They said they could get me money. So I said, okay. I signed the paperwork. I didn't really look at it. I didn't really understand. I was told that it wasn't going to cost me anything, that it would, so this really, the American system of capitalism is a beautiful system. But it's things like this really infuriate me, but it takes 2 to tango here. And yes, they prey on the people who need the help. And that really pisses me off and makes me want to go, break some knuckles. But at the same time, our veterans are falling for it. And it may be because that's the only people who feel cares about them. Right? Randy, thoughts?
Yeah, you asked a good question. What is the impetus behind why somebody is going to seek these kind of services? And we're using a sad example here, but it's because the person has cancer and they need help. So beyond the money, this is a very serious condition, and it may not be covered by whatever health insurance they have, and they need to get some help through the VA. So as much as money and compensation is a driver for this, in this case, I think it's the condition. You're right. It does take 2 to tango. I'm bothered by the size and scope of the fees. So Jason's example of, 6X on whatever you get is unreasonable for educating somebody about what their condition is and how to properly get compensated for it. If you stand back and look at the 2 factors that matter most here, the first is, does the service member have this condition? And I know we talked about Nexus a little bit here, but is it a compensatable condition that they have, a service connected condition? And when did it start and where are they at now? And these people don't really contribute anything to that equation. It's, do you have it? Do you deserve some care and compensation for it? And they're not helping anything other than just a paperwork drill, which frankly says as much about the VA as it does these, sort of sharks that they call that are swirling around. So yeah, more than two to tango in this case. Jason, I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, and I think that the problem is education, right? Educating veterans on the services and the avenues in which they can get it. I mean, if you know about accredited representatives, you know about your local veteran service office, you know those things, that's one thing. But I will tell you that there is a very large number, I believe, of veterans that just don't really have a clue of how any of it really works. And the VA doesn't do a very good job at really, we'll call it dumbing it down, but they don't really do a good job of going, this is what you need to do. Just making it super Barney style. They don't. It just, everything is so convoluted and nuanced, and it seems very difficult. And in my opinion, the local accredited veteran service officers and reps and all that stuff throughout the different states and the county levels and what have you are severely underfunded. So they're just reactive. They're not out there getting into the community the way that they need to be. They're all just kind of skeleton crews, just being reactive instead of proactive. Now, do I think there's a place for these kind of organizations? Sure. Sure. They're incentivized to get you the highest rating and to help you figure out what you can claim and what you can't. Well, I highly disagree with how much they charge, and I don't think that they should be able to charge really anything at all for a presumptive condition. Not just a freebie. Here's a coaching session for free.